Hello everybody. So in this module we are kind of taking a small tangent here and talking about decision making as an administrator. Okay, so as we've said with the advocacy project, one of the things that distinguishes administrators is that as a leader you're going to be confronted all the time with decisions that need to be made quickly. You will be making decisions throughout the day. I forgot what the research says, but it's something like 20 to 30 decisions a day on average you'll be making as an administrator. So what this project does is it gives you some dilemmas and has you think through them. Okay, so as part of this, I want you to look at the PowerPoint on ethical decision making and how we go about making our decisions and what we tend to focus on when we make decisions. Personally, one of the things that I tended to lean toward was intentions of people when they do acts that are questionable or so forth, and what were intentions. And you'll understand that when you look through the ethical decision-making presentation there. So after viewing this, what I want you to do is look at these leadership dilemmas. And if we pull up real quickly the syllabus, we can see here this is your second project. This project will involve you working through various scenarios and planning your responses based upon readings dealing with moral, ethical, and legal decision making. The project is due week 12. You can scroll back up here and scroll down and see that the dilemma projects are worth 5 points. And when we look here, we can see that we're going to introduce this in Module 7. And it is going to be due at the end of the third week, and you'll find the submission link in Module 13. That would correspond to week 12 of a regular 16-week course. Okay, so you have a little over a week to work through this. So let's see what this says here. I have given you 4 scenarios here. I want you to look through them and or I've given you 7. I want you to look through them and choose 4. Okay, and answer the questions. You'll submit your final answers during week 12. You'll cut and paste your answers onto a Word document and upload that single Word document. Be sure to add the title of the dilemma above each of your questions and responses. This project is worth 5 points. So this is how that final project will look. So here's the dilemma dealing with 2 internal applicants, and you'll respond to the reflective questions part 1, reflective question in part 2. There's only one question in that part. When beliefs are challenged, and reflective questions 1, reflective questions 2. So you'll answer these and just cut and paste them into one single document. Okay. So let's look at what the actual documents look like. So when you pull this up, you can see here we have the reflective questions at the beginning. So here you can kind of read through them and get an idea, read the story, come back, and read again as you need. These are short, anywhere from 3 to 5 pages, 3 or 4 pages really at the most, little case studies. Okay, so here's some reflective questions. What is the problem or the issue here, and is there more than one? What would you do at this point if you were the principal's position? What are the principal's options for dealing with this dilemma? And we talk about what a dilemma is in the presentation on ethical decision making. Reflective question part 2, the principal is confronted by a number of complex and competing issues as she endeavors to make changes that address underperformance. This would be very typical of something you might see. A key factor is the staff has not listened to what the data are saying about literacy in the school. How would you have tackled presenting the data to the staff? What leadership qualities and practices come into play in a challenging situation like this? So you get an idea then of what the questions. Go through and read the scenario, and then go back and start addressing the questions. So let's look at the rubric. Again, to find your rubrics, you go to My Grades. You can scroll down here and see the dilemma scenarios. Here's the rubric. So to score proficient, again, these need to be reversed. The content, the author chooses 4 scenarios and answers all the questions, giving detailed reasoning behind each answer. Analysis, worth 2 points. The author's answers to the questions illustrated a full analysis of the situation being described by referencing back to the scenario and also providing his or her thoughts on the situation being described. And then finally, again, we have the piece on APA style and grammar. So to get the most proficient scores and maximum scores, you need to choose 4 scenarios, answer all the questions. As you can see in that example we just used, if we were to scroll back up, this particular scenario actually had, under reflective questions part 2, there were actually 2 questions. So make sure you answer all the questions. You reference the story itself and explain your reasoning behind it. Okay, that's what I mean when I say give his or her thoughts. If you do that for everything, that's going to get you the maximum points. So good luck. This is a little bit of a challenging project in the sense that, again, we're working in those high levels of blooms. We're looking at analysis and really evaluation, because you're evaluating what's happening in the story and then adding your own thoughts to that. So we're really operating, again, in those high level of blooms, and that's what we want to see. So good luck. I look forward to reading your final responses.